Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the League of Nerdy Gentlemen. I'm Sam, and welcome to a very silly game. When I say it's a very silly game, it's not a very silly game at all, but it's a very silly... It's not a silly anything. Silly name. Fistful of Frags. If you haven't guessed, it's a Western game. Fistful of Dollars, I believe the movie was. And I wanted to talk about it because it gives me an interesting point of talk. And the fact that this is a game that bits of it I want to rip up and bits of it I can't compliment enough. It's completely free. It seems to be a trend that I just critique free-to-play games. Maybe that shall continue. I don't know. But it's 100% free. There isn't any microtransactions in it. And it just seems to be a mod for Half-Life 2. Well, it's based in the Source engine, but I'm calling it a mod for Half-Life 2 because when you start it up, it's the Half-Life 2 icon that starts up in your taskbar. So there's that. There's actually a decent amount of people playing this, surprisingly enough. We'll just jump into one of them. So the first thing you're going to notice about this game is it looks like it's a Half-Life 2 mod. It looks like it's probably older than Half-Life 2. I mean, look at this. That short look you got of the game. The hell's going on? Okay, let's try that again. Okay. Yeah. This is not a... Oh my god, stop doing that. This is not a good looking game at all. Texture work is awful. Models are awful. Animations are subpar. There's nothing really overly good about this game. Visually. But once you sort of step down from it a bit, you got to get off your high horse with this game because it's free. Now, I've ripped into free games before, and I will continue to do so because just because something's free doesn't stop something from being bad, even if it's 100% free. But this isn't necessarily bad. It's sort of fun. If you sort of give it the silly concept. Okay, first things first, it's 4 teams, which is quite... I like. That's sort of neat. There's not much sort of effort put into the world itself. I'm doing really bad because I'm talking. Also, I'm not that good at the game, I'll openly admit. But there's 4 teams, which makes it sort of hectic enough. It's fast. You know, it's a fast-moving game, which is I like a lot. You don't have that much time to shout at the bad texture work because most of the time you're not really looking at it. You're running around and trying to avoid everyone. There's a decent amount of playing variety with the game, and it ends up being sort of fun. If you just want to sit back and play a mindless game for 10-20 minutes, then this is sort of perfect for that. There's no ranking system to worry about or anything. You just jump in, you have a game, and then you sort of forget you had a game. But you enjoy the satisfaction of the game you just had. How does the game sort of feel? Well, you should be able to see, really, how the game feels. Well, at least I suspect you would. The guns are interesting. I've played with each gun type. The pistol is still my favourite, the revolver. Dual wielding any sort of handgun is actually my favourite thing to do in the game. But a brilliant way the game works is that I can't actually demonstrate now because I am dual wielding, but what should I get? Get another one of these? Can I dual wield those for a second? No, I have to dual wield these. Okay. So when you shoot, say, your revolver on its own, it's quite slow. Oh, that's a friendly. It's quite slow because kickback. It's not your arm back. You're slightly unsteady. The guns feel weighty and good, and like there's a serious amount of effort put into the weight of the games. The actual shooting. It's quite impressive. You can speed this up by holding right mouse down, which isn't really an aim down sight. It doesn't improve you. It makes you slightly more steady as you walk, but it basically puts your other hand on the I don't know enough about guns. The little clip thing on the back of the gun, so you can fire it super fast instead of having to do that, where you click the trigger and you flick it back with your thumb, which is significantly longer. the gun work is just superb for especially a free game. But as far as physics go, guns is about it. Guns and shooting people's hats off. Just let's see if I can do. Oh god, I didn't reload properly. It's probably gonna get me killed. Oh, I don't actually have any Oh! Ammo in that gun. That's about it. Physics is really basic. But the physics they've got in there, i.e. the gun physics, are brilliant. Some people might not like it. Some people might say it actually slows the game down in what otherwise should be a really fast running gun shooter. But I think it's... Oh, that's just a cardboard. But I think it's really good. It's surprising in a game like this. I expected this to be just completely terrible going into it. And I went into it with a silly mindset so I didn't get too annoyed at how terrible it was. But there's bits of good in it. But for every bit of good in it, there's also a bit of bad in it. But I'm not ripping into it like I would another game because of its nature. It's completely free. So how do you judge something like that? You can't say it's not worth your time because... Well, you can say it's not worth your time. It's something like this certainly wouldn't be worth your money. No. If they were charging for this, I wouldn't be happy. But having said that, if I could ask for anything from the game, it would be that I want to buy it. But I don't want to buy this. I'm being very cryptic right now. What I mean is, I'd like to buy this game, released as a full AAA game, with really good visuals, with really good high quality models, good animations, more maps, better map design. I think the map design is good Old West, but a bit too generic Old West. You know, they stuck too close to their guns with what they wanted to do. I don't want to see it just working better and being less of a silly game you play for 20 minutes and a game that you really want to look forward to. Because I think we need more Western games. I've slightly discovered recently that I'm quite the fan of the Western. I don't really watch much Western films, but one of my favourite games of all time is Red Dead Redemption. If I could get another Red Dead game, my god, I'd be over the moon. So, I'm just like rejoicing in the fact that we've got a game like this in an industry where we don't get games like this at all. And I want a really good one. I don't want to complain about this. I really don't. And I'm going to use a similar complaint that I used in my Ghost Recon video. And that this game has a lot of missed potential. Now, I'm not absolutely biting this game shit like I did with Ghost Recon because they don't want any money for this. I don't know how many times I need to repeat that. So I'm giving it a bit more of the benefit of the doubt. What you saw there was another thing that I think is a particularly strong point of the game. Was that me? I can't remember where I died. When you actually get shot, the actual blood effect, the red effect you get, is quite interesting. But visually, as you get injured, I think at the bottom is a health bar. Now, not all the time, only when you're actually getting shot at. Well, getting actually injured. But it's one of the most obscure looking health bars I've ever seen in anything. So it might be a health bar, it might just be a thing. Hell if I know. God, that gun animation's cool. You see? If the whole thing was over the top and silly, but also was really, really polished, I would love the hell out of this game. I want to pay for this. I do, but I want it to be worth paying for. Also, you might see another one of the complaints right there. Press W to continue, eh? Right? Also, that F filling up there, that's supposedly the health bar. It's weird, I don't know why it's an F, I don't know what it's got to do with anything. Let's press W to continue. Okay, why should that be a problem? Is it because W is not usually the continue button? No. But next time I die, you might see what my problem has been with it. Or if you've been keeping note every time I died, you see what the problem is with it. And press what to continue? Press anything to continue? Press nothing to continue? Yeah. I'm not a game designer. I don't know how hard it is to code these things. But surely it's not that difficult to put in the code to only say press any key to continue, or press space to continue, or press W to continue, instead of saying everything, or sometimes just saying nothing. Surely that's not that difficult. I don't understand. But yeah, this game is weird. Because part of me wants to rip it apart. And the other part of me wants to just say shut up and enjoy it, because you're enjoying yourself. And isn't that the whole point of a video game? Has a video game done its job if you're enjoying yourself? Yeah? I mean, that's this game's only job, really, isn't it? Make people enjoy themselves. It's not trying to sell anything to anybody. They don't gain anything from this. They're not selling skins, they're not selling hats, they're not selling weapons, they're not selling maps. Nothing. From what I can see, this was just a passion project. A passion project with next to no budget, but they just wanted to make it. And make it they did. Got it on Steam, because it's in the Source engine. And if it's in the Source engine, you can get anything on Steam. Well, actually, that joke's a bit old hat now. You can seem to just be able to get anything on Steam full stop. Well, I was going to blow up in a second anyway. But, oh, what the hell was he made of? How did he survive that? Yeah. My brain's left a bit puzzled by it. I almost put off doing this video because of how I didn't fully know how I felt about the game. And I'm thinking that if I don't actually know how I feel about a game, how can I talk about it on length? Well, I can do it like this. I can do it by talking in circles. Just forever and ever and ever. But I feel like it's something that needs to be brought to people's interests. I mean, the game's building its own player base fast enough because it's completely free and people are giving it that slight chance, and because there's no ranking system or free-to-play model bogging it down, people are keeping it installed and just carrying on playing it. It passes time. This is the sort of game that I put on, I listen to a podcast behind, I don't have to think about it, it's just mindless. Is that bad? I don't know. I mean, not really. But is there better games out there that do that? Well, what games do I do that with? I do that with Tribes sometimes. The Tribes a better game than this? Yeah. It's also free to play. I do it with Star Wars The Old Republic. Is that a better game than this? Yeah. It's also free to play. I do it with Titanfall. It's a better game than this, but it costs 40 quid. All those games, I feel like you get what you pay for, and more so. I guess that's what it comes down to with this being a free-to-play game. Am I getting more than what I paid for? I don't feel like it. I feel like I'm getting exactly what I paid for. Nothing. But that's not to say it's total crap. If anything, that's more saying what the game industry's like now. Some games that I don't pay anything for, and I feel like I've got exactly what I paid nothing for. I'm not talking crap on a game like Dota 2 right now, but I feel like this is free. This should be free. This business model is fine. I'm getting what I pay for. I'm not really getting any more. I feel like that with a few games. I feel like that with Team Fortress 2. But these are games that I'm fine with. Well, except with Dota, but that's personal preference. I am absolutely bad at... I'm just terrible at Dota. I'm so shit. So, I complain about it. But my point being is... how should I feel about this game? How do you feel about this game? How should anyone feel about this game? Should I be mad at it? Should I be ripping it apart? Should I be taking it for what it is? Should I just say, fuck it, whatever, it's free? I don't know. I seriously don't know. And that's why I made the decision to make this video. Instead of saying, well, if I can't really talk about it coherently, then I shouldn't just talk about it. Instead, I'll talk about the fact that I can't talk about it coherently. I'll talk about the fact that this game, this really simple, mindless game, with terrible animations, poor visual quality, I don't know if you can see the screen tearing that's going on right now, that I can probably fix anyway, has puzzled me. Because normally, oh, me. I just read the chat for a second there. What does this do? My brain switched off then, forgot it was doing a video. Yeah, it's puzzled me. I just don't know what I should feel. And I guess that's why I like it. I guess that's why I'm still playing it now. I guess that's why I haven't ended this video and I'm just talking over me shooting people badly. This game is weird. Just went in the chat. And I couldn't put it any more differently. Arena shooter? Yeah, I guess. I didn't even read that I guess at the end of that. I finished that myself. Yeah. But interestingly, which reminds me, I was talking about games where you feel like you're getting what you paid for. Now, obviously this game is out and won't be out for ages, but today, well, as of time of recording, I think this will be going out tomorrow, but today it was announced that Unreal Tournament 4, the new Unreal Tournament game, brand new arena shooter, one of the best arena shooters, the best competitive arena shooters, Unreal Tournament, its new installment is going to be 100% free to play. Sort of. The game itself is free. All of it's free. No microtransactions, nothing. But the thing you pay for is basically a dev kit so you can create your own maps. With that coming in, where does that leave this? Can I defend it like I'm doing with the fact that Unreal Tournament 4 is coming out? Well, I don't think I can. The game industry is changing. I think this game is the last of a line. A very short line. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think this is a game that is as a high note as this is gonna get. A game that looks more like Counter-Strike Bloody 1 than anything else. But is still slightly fun. If the developers were to go away from this, whoever you might be developers, I don't know your name, but if you were going to go away from this and look at the fact that people are playing it and people putting in the chat, oh it's good, whatever, I want you to stick with this. I want you to stick with the name, Fistful of whatever, what's the game called? It's late at night. Fistful of Frags. And say, what if we remake this? What if we remake this in the Unreal Engine? What if we remake this still in the Source Engine, but we update all the graphics, we, do all the stuff with it. Release it free to play again, release it for $5, $10. What can come out of that? Well, I want to see. I want to see a budget put behind it. I don't know if you're actually making any money out of this. I don't know how you would be. But use it. Make something good. Because that's what I want to see. Because I'm enjoying myself right now. Even though, rightfully, I should be talking crap about you. Oh god. I forgot to turn voice over IP off. Right, with the risk of going around speaking in another circle, I think I'm going to end this. On the note that I don't know how to conclude it. Right, bye.